Good morning, everyone. It is the start of a fresh week and it's freezing out. It's -7 right now. So I think the high is like a couple of degrees. So it's definitely been cold the last few days and just kind of like making a lot of warm food and cozying up and just doing a lot of work from home, honestly, thank God, which has been really, really nice. But today I have one of my chiropractor appointments with Dr. Sam at the Hive Wellness. Her and her husband, Cam, own the place. It's in Geneva. They are phenomenal. She's extremely knowledgeable, but she's also really good at like connecting with you as a patient or a client. So I feel like bedside manner and the ability to listen and give really important and kind feedback, and also just really great direction. She's been helping me kind of get back after like postpartum. I was talking about her, I think, in the last episode, and she specializes in helping women during pregnancy and also postpartum. She's helping a lot with my back. I've been having a lot of like back and neck pain for a long time, and I think a lot of it is stress, but also it's like the stress that pregnancy puts on the body and the mind. So honestly, she incorporates so many different modalities in the chiropractic appointment. And I know it's different for everyone every time, but the last few times I've gone, she does a little bit of cupping, she does a little bit of massage. She uses what I think is like a gua sha with this like cooling gel on my back. Oh my God, it's so nice. And then she does the adjustment. And because my back has actually been so tight, the adjustments have been like, she hasn't been able to really get in there. So I've been having to do a lot of breath work and exercises on my own to really help loosen it up. That's the other thing I didn't know. She told me, I didn't know this. Our diaphragm actually mimics our pelvic floor. My diaphragm is so tight, like I can't even take full deep breaths. So she's actually really helping me release a lot of the tension that I'm holding there, which actually is then helping my pelvic floor, which every woman needs postpartum. So I'll take you guys along. Their place is so cute, and I'm just really grateful that I found her. She's one of the coaches at F45, and that place and her have just been such a great support for just life in general, and in particular postpartum. So I'll take you along and you'll kind of see behind the scenes of what that feels like at the chiropractic appointment. And there was a nice big hawk that just flew over. Wow. She was a big lady, big hawk. The last thing I want to say is I keep going back weekly for the chiropractic care. I don't necessarily need to at this point. Like, we're going to start stretching out the appointments a little bit, but I have been, it is a form of self-care for me. So I've been going like once a week, and I can't even tell you like how much it helps my nervous system. And I take it as just like time for myself and self-care. So I just want to give them a big shout out and give Dr. Sam a big shout out, because I know I'm sure learning and all the studying and all of the just all the time and energy she has put in her practice, I just want to send like a big shout out to her, and it shows. So really grateful for the support.
towards this back leg. Full body, big stretch in the hip especially.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites for the internal rotation of the hip. And then we can obviously then pick up and switch to the other side and do the same thing. Lean into that front leg, big glute stretch, and then rotate towards the back leg. And it's just like a fun little, I guess, little routine you can kind of do too.
This feels so good.
I love the rotation in the back hip.
It's like actually getting the hip flexor.
Yep, and like the joint and everything.
Yeah. And this is where I've been so tight postpartum.
Yes, adductor tension is really common postpartum because it's right where it inserts right on the pubic symphysis. It's also a muscle that can cause a lot of problems during pregnancy and cause that pubic pain if you experienced any of that.
Interesting.
So yes.
I have too much of the pain, like towards the
Or like
ends.
lightning crotch is another name people like to call it.
It's so funny. Yeah.
So the adductor tension can really pull and torque, and when you do the muscle tension and tightness, although you don't hear me say like bones out of alignment often, I typically describe it as like you can get out of alignment when muscles and other things are pulling you in certain directions. I don't necessarily full on believe that bones can pop out of place. It's a little difficult to conceptualize.
Don't mind the messy hair. We are here with baby Violet. She just got up from her nap. We got her some snacks. She's been really loving oranges lately. Let me tell you how terrifying it is to start feeding your baby solids for the first time. Which I know isn't anything new. If you're a parent, then you've been through this. But if you're not, it's like they haven't developed all their teeth to masticate, to chew, you know? So we give her soft foods and she'll eat the soft foods. She loves it. Blended fruit packs are her favorite. But yeah, oranges always kind of scared me. Some berries scared me, but we're finally here. And she's loving it. And also, let me see. She's now walking. So she's exploring a lot more. She went from crawling to crawling really fast to now walking. And next thing you know, she's going to be walking very fast. You want to come with? Come on. We got a little ledge there. You did it. Good job, babe. Oof. Whoops. I just knocked over some of her toys. Yeah. Oh. So, like I said previously, yeah. We go to F45, Angelica and I. Yeah. She loves seeing herself. We take a lot of pictures with her, so she knows what a camera is, which is good. Angelica has been going to F45 consistently. I've stopped because of the move, just because of the late night runs. And so, hey Bubs. During the move, the packers packed all of our shoes and like our closet and jackets and stuff. And they're like, can we put the shoes in this box with the jackets? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Please, like, let's get this done. So we get here, we open it up. I have the jackets. I look inside, boots, shoes, perfect. Grab everything, bring them out. They're all Angelica's stuff. And I think there was maybe one of my boots. Literally just one of them, not the pair. Let me see if I have them in here somewhere. Nope. So Angelica only had her pair of shoes that she was wearing that day, and I only had my pair of boots that I was wearing that day, which I just got. These are Red Wings. It's a little salty and scuffed right there, but all leather. My first pair of well, technically my second pair of leather boots, but my first pair of boots that actually fit, because I went and measured my feet on the Brannick device. That's a foot measuring device you find at like Payless and stuff, or that used to be there. Yeah. And so the thing with leather boots is they need time to dry, you know? So I'm like, oh my God, let me grab my other boot. I looked for the other shoes. I could not find them. So now I'm missing my winter boots, which are just like hiking Gore-Tex, like synthetic boots that are meant to like withstand the elements. And now I'm also missing my gym shoes because I was gonna sign up to work out, and then I was like, I have nothing but boots. That's it. Oh, and the other thing is I ordered another pair of boots, all leather. I was gonna order these anyway. I didn't order these because I was like, I don't want to look for my shoes. I had my eye on these. These are Truman's. They're like Red Wings Plus. So they're thicker leather. There's better midsole. These things are a tank, but also I can't believe how comfortable they are. As soon as I got them, they were so comfortable that I got nervous that I accidentally ordered the wrong size. But no, it's the right size. So I signed up today for the Flow class, which is their like yoga mobility class, and I love to do that stuff. So I was like, you know what, whoops daisy, I signed up for it. This hair looks so weird because it's just not like, oh Bubs, what's wrong? She tripped on the ledge, but she's good. So the Flow class is the only class that I can go to because I don't have my gym shoes. They're in boxes in the garage right now, which I'll show you. Like, we've looked at a lot of the outer perimeter boxes and they're not in there because all of our pantry stuff is there. So we're probably gonna have to move some boxes out. But like I said previously, we've been hitting like 10 degrees, 7 degrees. Yesterday the highest was 1 degree, and the lowest was like negative something. So it's been brutal. You don't want to move boxes when your hands are freezing, because I'll show you guys later once I get the camera going out there, because I do want to go look for my gym shoes. Like, luckily I've been getting a workout doing the move, but I would like to continue doing the cardiovascular workouts. And now our baby, whoops, what are you doing? She is playing with this old stack of CDs. Yeah. Oh, for me? Thank you. And this is the case. And there goes my hair again. Alright, so we're gonna hang out today. We're gonna play. Wanna go finish your snackies? And then, yeah, we'll keep you updated. One of my clients canceled for tomorrow. That's alright, I still got other clients, so that just means I don't have to wake up super early and we don't have to rush. I love when all of us get to drive together in one car. I love spending time with my family, and yeah, it's just being goofy. Hold on. God, I love her so much. This is one of our cats. This is Freddie. Freddie was rescued by Angelica. He was living outside for the first year of his life. And he loves pets. I know he looks a little grumpy right now, but he's always looking for hands to pet him. Alright, I'm gonna go play with my baby and have a good time. I'll update you guys more later.
Good morning, everyone. I have to learn to talk louder, apparently. We are headed to a couple of appointments today. Remy is actually going to be heading into the chiropractor. Earlier in this video, you guys should be seeing like me going to the chiropractor. He's going to the same place. They're actually a married couple. They're a husband and wife, and it's their practice, and I have been having really, really beautiful results since I've been going there, just physically and mentally, and honestly I just feel really supported. So he's actually going to go see Cam, her husband, right, hon?
Yep.
And what have you been... Remy's had a lot of hip pain, right? What else is going on?
So I talked about it. I made a video while you were busy that I have a lot of injuries from Olympic lifting and powerlifting and CrossFit. And so, like I said before, in this little previous scene, I'm gonna see what they can do to help me with like my quads, because my quads are solid. So I've seen a lot of massage therapists to kind of help break up a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna see if there's more that can be done. The last massage therapist that I saw, she basically said, you're supposed to have 4 muscles in your legs, you know, that's why they're called quads. And I was like, yeah, I know. And she's like, they feel like they're fused together. And I was like, oh God. And she hurt the hell out of me, but she was able to start like splitting them apart. And I was like, okay, like how bad is it? And she was like, out of all the people that I've seen, these are the worst. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm hoping we can see what can be done about that, because that being messed up causes a lot of other issues. And so yeah, Angelica has had great success and results, so I'm gonna see if I can get some of that too.
Yeah, it's like I said, Sam specializes in postpartum and pregnancy and things like that, and she works with babies and children too, so they're kind of phenomenal. I honestly have just been really happy and really grateful we found them. So I am actually going to be going in for a session with Rodrigo. I don't know if I'm doing a practice, like a private class, or if I'm going to get healing work done. I'm not exactly sure, because next month I'm actually going to be out teaching all month, so I'm going to miss class. So I'm trying to just make sure I stay on top of not getting behind with any of the content and what we're learning. So we're going to see once I get there what Rodrigo thinks we should do, and then kind of go from there. And also, something else I wanted to share. So I finally did get everything set up for that half marathon. So training officially starts Saturday. I had to shift things around a little bit with dates, and I tried to find another one. So the one that I actually found is through a forest preserve, and it's actually through a forest preserve that I have visited a few times before. So when I saw it, I'm like, okay, this is great. I also feel like it's going to be a bit more gentle on my knees, not my hips, because it is going to be a little bit on some softer gravel, a little bit on some grass, which is better than the pavement, and especially like on Lakeshore Drive, which is what I'm used to running, especially in the city. So I am looking forward to that. Like I said, training starts on Saturday. So I'll be training for the next like 18 weeks, essentially. And I'm sure I'll be taking you guys along. I geek out on running and on nutrition with running. It's something that I haven't been able to do in a little while. Ever since I had ran the Chicago Marathon a couple of years back, I've had an injury on my right knee. That's a story for another time. And I've been even working with Sam at the Hive and, you know, F45 and all these other things through healing energetically and emotionally and all these things. I'm going to approach training just a little bit differently this time and see if I get better results, because the ultimate goal would be to then go into the actual marathon and try to get a marathon in either this year or next year. So we will see. I'm just really intrigued to see how pregnancy and motherhood has shifted my body. I'm going to be kind to it, and I'm going to listen to it, so we'll see how that goes.
It's Friday. We are chilling here, getting ready in the morning. Angelica has work, and I am hanging out with the baby today. She's taking a nap right now. We were up at like 4:30, and then she was kind of like up and down this whole time. So we finished breakfast, we put her down pretty early, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with nap time, but that means we get to do some work, which, as you can see, we got Angelica.
I'm here.
With the foot massager.
Yeah. I'm doing my morning pages for the...
Oh. She's doing her morning pages here. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in.
Okay.
Artist's way.
This is the workbook portion, but I'm only on the first week, so I'm doing my morning pages and I'm just kind of getting everything out. So it's been really nice.
All right. And I'm noticing the person, so I got my hair done, clean shaved, and I finally did my the beard myself. I did a walk-in, and the person, so the top of my hair, I told him, don't touch the top. I just want the fade. Leave this because I'm growing it out. And it took him an hour. And I'm now noticing, like, it's good. I like it. But now I'm noticing this huge little, like, this comes out, but this side doesn't. I was very upset. I was already having kind of a rough day that day, so like an hour in, I was like, I want to fade, and then I want to clean this up. I want to shave my mustache, because we moved and all my stuff was packed up, and we've been very busy. And then he took his time. It took him an hour just for the fade, and I was like, I kept checking my watch because I was like, all right, like, he'll be done soon. And then he just kept going, and then like 50 minutes in, I'm just like, there's no way. Check my watch, and he's like, oh, do you have to leave soon? And I was like, yes I do. Like, how long would it take to get the beard and the mustache? And he's like, probably like another 15 to 20 minutes. And I was like, nope, like, I'm not doing it, man. I gotta go. Like, I have to be out of here by 1. So that was super stressful, but it feels good to have a lot of this cut off, and it feels good to finally be clean. I know I talked about trimming this up because this starts to go every which way. But enough about that. We're also sporting our new cozy Smosh sweaters. We ordered them. This is a YouTube channel that they've been around for a while, but we've kind of been checking them out lately. And so we decided to support them, and we got their merch. We were gonna get, there's another YouTuber, his name is Trent the Traveler. He's super awesome. We wanted to get his merch, but his coffee mugs sold out super quick. Angelica loves mugs. She loves coffee. She's drinking it right now. And so yeah, he sold out 3 times, and then he was like, I'm not gonna make them anymore. And we're like, damn. The hoodies, I think they sold out, but these guys sold out. But then there was like a little button that's like, notify me when it's back, and as soon as it came back, we picked them up, and they are cozy. So we're kind of just chilling here right now, going over some plans. Tomorrow we have a huge mesa feeding. At the end of my Shamanic Apprenticeship level 4 course, we do a mesa feeding for all of my students, but my dad decided, why don't we do one for all of the students? So everyone from level 4 and up, we invited to do a big feeding. So you guys will be able to partake in that. It's a nice little celebration. It's very similar to a despacho ceremony because there will be a despacho ceremony happening. I'll break down everything. I'll probably do a voiceover, and that way, like, you can kind of see what's going on. I will be feeding my mesa and removing things, so I'll kind of take you step by step of what we do without getting too into it, because it is going to be around 2 hours, so we don't want to bore you too much. So I'm just kind of getting ready for all of that right now, and I'm trying to get our 4th episode up and running. I think I said 4th episode in the last scene or 2. I'm tired. I messed up. I uploaded episode 3, and I went to upload it, and I'm like, where's episode 4? Because I had talked about it, and so I resaved it, and then I realized I just saved it twice, and I labeled it episode 4, even though there was episode 3 was ready. So yeah, we're kind of just chilling right now. I need to go get my LMNT because I am feeling dehydrated, and we have discovered LMNT. It is a electrolyte packet that's super good. It was introduced to us by our friend Tony, who swears by it. We had other electrolytes, and I was like, they're all kind of the same, whatever. And then he brought some over to an Inipi ceremony, and I was like, you know what? I will try one. So I grabbed one. Angelica grabbed one. We both made one like once we got home, and we just immediately stared at each other like, this is delicious. So we've been rocking that out for a minute. So yeah, I got my little setup right here. I'm gonna start doing some stuff. Is there anything you want to talk about?
A little later.
Alright. We're gonna try to get another camera because we have this one right now that we share between us. And now that we're both comfortable recording more stuff, This way we're not like handing it off back and forth. This way we can each have our own designated one, and then we'll upload it, and then I'll start working on that. I'm going to continue working on editing the videos, and also the new thing that I'm going to be releasing this spring. Really excited about. I'm just getting all the marketing done. I'm getting all the, what's it called? Like the website portion of it. I'm not great with website stuff, but I'm learning, so I'm kind of trying to get the landing page done and the information and the download and all of that stuff set up. Angelica will help me out with that, but I'm trying to get like the artwork and stuff done, so all we have to do is upload it, publish it, and then it's good to go. I'm extremely excited for this. I cannot wait to start talking about it. Maybe we should start like a Patreon for our videos where you guys see behind the scenes of the behind the scenes.
It's like Inception.
Inception, yeah. Behind Deception. Because yeah, we just have not a lot of things going on, but we have a lot of great ideas, and we're just, like Angelica said, we're taking our time one step at a time, getting one thing done before we move on, because both of us have the tendency to just take on a lot at once and then just burn out immediately, and it is not a good time. We both get super cranky, we get super sassy, we'll start to argue, and then on top of that add like not sleeping too well and like not recovering, and all of it just sucks. So we're taking a gentle approach. We're getting everything solidified before we take the steps, and it has been great. I also need to do a podcast, so, well, we both do, but Angelica's going to be kind of busy, so probably the next time the baby goes down for a nap, I'll just start another podcast episode. And I'll keep it like short and simple, kind of just other little mini updates. If you are not checking us out, you can go to Spotify, search The Path to Healing Arts, and then you will see a picture of me and Angelica, and that is where we have a lot of good information about a lot of our experiences and stuff. If you want, you can look at my old podcast. It's called Language of the Sun, but I stopped that one once her and I moved in together, and then after a while we just merged into one, and that has turned into The Path to Healing Arts. So I'm gonna go grab my water because my mouth is drying. I'm getting dehydrated. I need to take care of myself, and we're just kind of taking it easy, cozying it up until Angelica has to leave. All right.
Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, so I swear Fridays have just like a different feel to them. Everywhere you go, it just feels different. But I just got in, about to head into the shop, and I wanted to share something that I've been doing. There's this book, you saw it earlier when I was doing the morning pages. This book has been like really, really cool, and I'm only like a week into it, so I'm excited for like the next, I think it's like a 12-week kind of layout of the book. So there's like 11 more weeks. But essentially it's to help artists and creatives. And I honestly didn't really know like what to expect when I got it. It's been on my radar for a long time because I've seen so many other people like refer back to the book. And it's not at all what I expected. And I was laughing this morning because the book is all about like reigniting your connection with your own creative energy, which to me is my feminine. Like that is our feminine energy. That's where creation comes from. And as you guys know, I'm like dedicating, I don't want to say my whole career, but let's say a large part of my career to the feminine, helping women with their femininity. And, I've talked a little bit about it on here. So anyways, it's just interesting that the book found me the way that it found me. And what it has me doing the first week, and honestly like the rest of the weeks, is called Morning Pages. And essentially it's just like a brain dump. You're getting everything out, but what she talks about in the book is how you're getting out like this ego part of you, like the judgmental part or the limiting part, or the part of you that like the residual like fight or flight survival part of the brain. And in terms of energy, this is why I think writing and communication and self-expression is so important for healing, and that can come in so many different forms. It could be journaling, writing, It could be dancing, it could be movement, it could be, creating soaps, and whatever it is that you express yourself through is a beautiful tool for healing. I know Remy talks about it all the time. Crafting, he talks about leather working. That stuff, that doesn't resonate with me. I'm not very good at it. But anyways, writing really does. And what I've been really wanting to focus in on is Motherhood University, which is a blog that I started back a couple of months ago when I was postpartum, like early postpartum. And I don't want to say I've had like writer's block, because I don't feel like I have, but I've been so busy with so many other things. And that's what I'm really realizing is how like almost fragmented my attention has been. And I noticed it in the morning pages, like even when I'm trying to write, it's like, oh, something will come up in my brain where I'm like, oh, I have to get my lunch ready, or I have to go do this, oh, I have to email this client back, or I have to text this person, and it's so easy for us to get pulled out of like the task that we're doing. So I'm learning a lot about like really refocusing my energy. And I've been loving the morning pages. And something that I realized is it's helping me write. It's literally helping me get out like all the gunk and move the energy that could be hindering me from connecting with that intuitive part within me, which is a part of the writing of the Motherhood University. So long story short, I've been really, really enjoying the morning pages. Again, it's only the first week, so it is what it is, but I'm noticing that there's a little bit more capacity to then like allow the passion or that creative part of me really come through. So I'm just giving it time and space to do its thing, and I'm just going to keep going with the book and see like what is created from the healing that takes place through this text. So it's called The Artist's Way. You could find it on Amazon. That's where I got it. I got the book that comes with the workbook, but you don't need the workbook, but I got it just because it came in like a bundled pair. So if you're interested in that, highly recommend checking it out. So I'm just prepping for my sessions today, and I just have a couple of online sessions and one in person. And like I said, I'm heading then to a meeting. And Remy and I have been working on like revamping our website and our offerings. I know he's been talking a little bit about that. And we've actually hired out and outsourced for that. So I have quite a bit of work to get done for this person that's actually helping us. So just sending like photos and information and all of that. So I'm going to try to knock out some of that before I hop on my first session. And in doing so, I'm also just preparing my room. So I'm just going to kind of I always like to connect with the 7 directions. I'm going to connect with the 7 directions, set my intention for the day, work with Palo Santo. I've kind of showed you guys what that looks like in a previous video. So I'm just going to kind of be focusing in on that. But something I wanted to share, because Remy and I are actually going to be doing like a whole podcast episode on this. But what happened the last couple of nights, so my mom passed away in 2010. So it's really interesting. Like it's been almost 15 years. And part of me feels like she's been gone longer than my life. Like she's been gone more than she was in my life. And actually in a few years she will be, but it feels that way. It feels like such a lifetime ago when I think about it. And I've been really missing her lately. And there's a lot of healing that I've been going through with my family, not in a way of like, they're not, how can I say this? It's not like a conscious dialogue of healing between my family. I actually don't talk to my family out of just self support, and so I can stop abandoning myself. And it's just healthier that way with those boundaries put into place. And to go in with that, part of the healing has been with my mom, and with her being gone, sometimes maybe people can view that as being challenging. But it's really not. You just kind of adjust the approach of how you're healing or working through that. And that's kind of what I've been doing. And for a while, I kind of pushed my mom out for a few months. And then I sort of welcomed her back into my heart. And that in itself is healing. But in doing so, as I kind of welcomed her back into my heart, I've had this really big curiosity for like where we came from. And my mom was actually adopted. She was born in 1955. and her parents were 16 when they had her. So it was like hush hush at that time. So she was actually like, her mom was sent away from what I know, had my mom, and then the neighbor actually adopted my mom. So a lot of the family on my mom's side isn't actually blood related. And while I do love them very deeply, I really love them. My aunts are like, I love them to pieces. There's still this curiosity within me of like where I actually do come from. And it's not necessarily to reconnect with like the actual family on that side, although that might happen. I really just want to know where I come from in Italy. So it really is just about like what town, what part of Italy I come from. There's something about the land that I feel like is kind of calling to me. I'm not quite sure why. And there's this part of me that just really trusts it. So I don't really need to know why. But there's a part of me that I feel like it's an intuitive part of me. It's just a knowing that I have to kind of follow this through and follow the breadcrumbs that have been coming in and just see where it leads me. So I have no idea where it's leading me. I have a couple of leads that I'm following up on right now to see if this is a part of my mom's family, because I have like one name that I'm working off of. I can't find like any death certificates or anything like that because her biological mom actually passed away. So my mom actually never met her because she had passed away before my mom had found her. And I know my mom was looking for her when she was alive. I can't remember if my mom was looking for her when I was born or if this was before me. I don't know the timeline of it. So anyways, I don't know if this is healing for me or for her. I don't know. But there's something calling me forward to do it. So I'm kind of following through with it. So I'll make sure to kind of tune into that and share that with you guys. But what I want to say is Remy and I are actually going to do a whole podcast episode on like how do you connect and work with your ancestors and how do you have that deep connection if you don't know who they are and if you only know like one generation back. And because we have a couple of similarities and also a lot of differences in our lineage as far as like who we know and who, you know, where we come from and things like that. So I think it would be a really fascinating episode to dive into. So we will be recording that soon. So I'm actually really excited about it. But I will make sure to update you guys if I do find anything. And if there's any, like I said, I don't know where it's going to lead. So I'm sure there's some synchronicity or something. There's something that'll be coming through. So I'll make sure to share with you guys. It's Saturday. We get to drive together to work again. Say hi, honey.
Hey.
You know that this is our busy time, the weekends. So today it's not as busy as it usually is because for class, they are actually doing what's called a mesa feeding for some of the higher level students, I guess. And we do it about once or twice a year, depending on like what's needed with everyone, with all the students. And I'm sure Remy, I'll have him talk a little bit more about the mesa because he'll do a much better job than I will. But it's a beautiful tool that we are learning and have been learning to work with from the South American traditions that Rodrigo shares with us. So they're going to be doing a mesa feeding, which is just a couple of hours. I have a couple of clients this morning and afternoon, and then I actually have a group reading this evening. So I'm going to be driving downtown later tonight. It's actually a little bit earlier. It's at like 5:30, so it's not too late, which is good. Sometimes it's at like 7:30, and that can get a little late. So that's going to be really fun today. I love doing group readings. The group that I have is super, super nice. They're really great. I think I see them maybe once a year. I think this might be the third. I think this is the third group reading I'm doing with them. So that's going to be a really good time. So, honey, do you want to talk about the mesa? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted you to talk about how you retired.
Oh.
And not feeling well. But I guess I'll talk. I did already before, in a couple of scenes before, how the mesa is probably a very powerful tool that we teach our students how to create on their own and how to use it. And it takes a very long time to get together, and it takes even longer to create a connection to it. I'm not going to go too detailed into it because, again, this is supposed to be behind the scenes. This isn't supposed to be us teaching you guys stuff. But I will take the camera in to kind of record a little bit of what we're doing. That is a ceremony that is still sacred, but the despacho ceremony, like we had in the last one, is like viewable. So I'm not going to be getting close-up shots of people's messes that are open. I'm just going to kind of be panning the room, and then I'm going to be doing stuff with my mesa also. So I will probably do a top-down and kind of just discuss my stuff, which I do as a teacher anyway, so it's not that bad. But yeah,
Cool. Makes sense. And then tomorrow we actually have the Sacred Geometry Intensive going on. So yeah, this weekend is like the off weekend for classes. Well, tomorrow is essentially. So in place of that, we usually host one of our intensive workshops, and tomorrow is the Sacred Geometry workshop. And that one's really cool. I actually think I'll definitely get some behind the scenes on that, and I think we're going to be actually recording it to view like online for our online students that are interested in taking it. When I listen to Rodrigo, because it's different every time, like, well, it's the same like information, but he shares it in a different way each time, depending on like different things that come up. And I remember the first time I took it, when I heard how he received the information of the sacred geometry, was really freaking cool. I can't even remember where he was in the world.
I think it was in Machu Picchu.
Was it? It was either Machu Picchu or it wasn't Bolivia, was it? It was some small area. I'll have to ask him. It was a smaller town, and he was out traveling on his own. I'm not going to get too much into it because that is definitely, he's got to tell that story. But I remember listening, and it was just incredible. So hopefully I'll get some of that tomorrow. We might have recorded the audio to it. We might have to look.
How are you feeling?
Okay. So my cycle started yesterday, and it's a couple of days early. And what's really fascinating is my entire life, really, I was taught to hate this part of myself and of this time each month. You hear it all the time. Women hate having their cycles and things like that. And through the healing over the last few years, because I was thinking about this last night, I love when my moon cycle starts. It doesn't mean that it's all happy and I feel great, because I feel like not good today, because this is the time that women naturally detox and let go and cleanse. So it can be really emotional, obviously, and you're letting go of things that you don't need anymore. So you kind of go on a little bit of a journey. But what I want to say to that is I have grown to love this time and this connection that I have, because as a woman, obviously we know that things change as we get older, but also men don't have this connection. So the fact that we can create life and bring life across the veil and also have this deep connection to Mother Earth and to ourselves and to creativity and femininity is pretty miraculous, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm real jealous, but also not. Talk about your connection to the moon. And why is it called the moon in Native tradition?
Well, your moon cycle is supposed to be, well, naturally, when you're in flow or in alignment, naturally, history is on the full moons, you actually start your cycle. So you're synced up with the full moon. And when I was pregnant, I was postpartum, and Violet and I had woken up in the middle of the night. Violet was young. It was like, she was maybe 3 or 4 months, and I was still nursing at that time, and I was feeding her, and it was a full moon, and the moon was coming through the window, the door, the sliding glass door. And I remember like shifting the bassinet and shifting where I was on the couch so that I could be under the moonlight to receive the healing. And I remember having a conversation with her, and just saying, like, I would love to work with you more. I would love to understand our connection more and how I can share that with other people. And what?
You said her. They don't know what you're talking about.
Grandmother Moon. Moon. It's a female. She's like grandmother energy. Yeah. Anyways, when I had said that, I actually started my cycle. I think it was that next day, actually. I think it was the next day I then got it, and I was synced up with the moon. So this was like, I wasn't expecting to get my cycle back that quickly after postpartum, especially with nursing, because even though I was nursing, I still got it, which technically doesn't happen all the time for women, which was kind of a lot for the body. But anyways, it was a beautiful confirmation of that partnership and the connection that we have with nature and with the moon, the sun, Mother Earth, the elements. So that has been pretty miraculous. But to go back to that, I'm also not feeling too great right now. So I'm taking it easy. I have a little bit of coffee. I'm going to take a nice chill morning. I have a little bit of time before my clients start, and it's just going to be a really calm day. I'm going to slow things down, and I'm just going to listen and respect my body and what it needs. So that's kind of where we're at today. I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before, but our guilty pleasure is Starbucks.
Starbies, yeah.
We've tried to give it up. We've tried to rebudget.
First of all, I used to hate Starbucks. I'm like, this shit is just corporate bullshit, fucking whatever. And then I started dating this gal over here.
This white gal.
And she was like, no, I want Starbucks. I'm just like, ugh. And I'm just like, yo, Starbucks is pretty alright.
So like I said, we've tried to resist. We've tried to
We've been doing good lately.
We have fun. But it just is what it is. It brings us joy. It brings us happiness. One of our favorite pastimes is literally just getting Starbucks and driving around. I think we showed that in the New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's her favorite thing.
Well,
but during the summer, I like Starbucks more.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the color that it brings into our lives.
Yeah.
I almost exclusively get like colorful drinks, and I went from the strawberry refresher to the melon burst iced energy drink, and
yeah.
I'm good there. But also I don't have breakfast, so that's literally why we're stopping today.
Yeah, because he made me breakfast instead, which was very selfless and very kind, because he is the best. Thank you, honey. But I think I'm just realizing this now, when my mom was alive, what her and I used to do after she would finish working is we would get in the car and we would go to Dunkin' Donuts, and I would get an iced caramel coffee, iced caramel coffee, I think. And she would get a coffee, and we would go shopping. Like, we would go to the store. Nothing crazy. Like, it would be the grocery store or whatever it is. And it was literally my favorite time with my mom. And it's probably why I also love it so much with him. So.
What you want?
Hey, thanks for stopping by Starbucks. What can I get started for you?
Can I get a melon burst ice energy drink with light ice?
Uh-huh.
And a turkey, provolone, and pesto and ciabatta sandwich?
You said a turkey and pesto and vanilla bean Danish?
No, sandwich.
Oh, sandwich. All right. Just those two things for you today?
No. I meant the turkey, provolone, and pesto.
Sorry. Thank you.
All good.
There it is.
What do you want?
Nothing.
You don't want anything?
Gotcha. Anything else for you today?
That's it then.
All right. We'll see you for 14:47.
All right, thank you.
Plot twist, today I actually don't need coffee. One, I rediscovered Lavazza coffee, which I have forgotten about over the years. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know if it's because I switched what stores I was grocery shopping at, but I haven't had Lavazza coffee in a long time, and it's literally my favorite. And their espresso is so good. But anyways, I discovered it at the store like last week, and I've gone through like 2 bags of it. I only have coffee in the morning, I'll say that. And then I'll switch to tea. But I made coffee, so I'm drinking my Lavazza coffee, and I have a meeting with a friend this afternoon in between clients, and we are going out for coffee. So my go-to during the day is a matcha latte. So I'm going to be getting a matcha latte after this. But here we are getting Starbucks, and then we're heading into the shop and we're getting set up. So Remy will take you along for the mess of feeding.
All right, I'm going to do a quick voiceover here to kind of break down what we have going on. As you can see, everybody is holding their bundles, which is called a mesa. Rodrigo's kind of explaining the process of what's going to go on, so we can open the mesas, which you can see they've already done here. And this way they're going to organize the elements that are in there so they can add in new elements and also remove elements, so they can be very well balanced. And they're going to also feed their mesa. Technically, this is a feeding, but with a feeding, you also need to do a despacho ceremony. And in the last video, this is what I did for my level 2 class. You can see here, Rodrigo is blessing the despacho area. Every mesa has specific elements and specific food that feeds the mesa. Think of the mesa as a little mini you. It needs to be fed, right? So everyone's kind of getting their stuff organized and ready to take things out, put things in. And as you can see, Rodrigo is starting to place his food, his old food, into the despacho. That is what we will give back to Mother Earth. It's a nice little bundle, and it's something that we'll also use to bless everybody, which you saw in the last video. Now here, you're going to see that a lot of people are grabbing items and bringing it up to their mouth. What they're doing is basically sharing their breath with the elements that they are going to put back into the mesa. So even if they're not adding new elements, they want to share their breath with each element. It kind of creates a connection to that element. It's also a way of shaking the hand of that element, strengthening the bond that you have. A lot of them will also kind of take old elements if they don't want it in there, and we'll place it into that little middle section. And if anyone needs a new type of element or another element that they don't have, they can go in. So it's a really nice way of sharing with each other. It's a very fun celebration to do the mesa feeding. And here you can see, people are starting to share their breath with the food that they're going to put into the mesa. Now, the food and the elements are two different things. The food, it contains or is made up of like grains, rice, beans, corn, dried flowers, spices, and here is our food, and then here's the food from the old mesas. All right, thank you.
We're just about home. We are done with our Saturday. Well, he's done. I still have a group reading to do. So we're just heading home, and we're going to let the dog out to kind of run around for a bit. It's actually warm out. It's like 41 degrees.
Springtime, baby.
Which is really, really warm for us because it's been like -5 for the past like couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So that's been really nice. How did today go, hon?
Today went great. You guys are going to see some of the clips in the videos. They're very short because I didn't want to just like record the whole thing. But I'll kind of explain about what a few things are and what we're doing. And the ceremony turned out beautiful. It was amazing. And yeah, I feel great. I had to do a lot of the blessings at the end, which means a lot of cigarette smoke. So my hair, my beard, my mouth all taste like tobacco, which is kind of rough, but at the same time, I work with tobacco so much that it's like an old friend, like, you know, and I'm not inhaling smoke. It only stays in the mouth because I have a lot of respect for tobacco, and if you inhale it, that's extremely disrespectful, so, but still that builds up in your mouth, and It is a lot of work to bless that many mesas. So.
Yeah.
But it was good. I enjoyed it.
Good. Yeah, you can kind of feel the tobacco after it builds up.
Yeah.
So like I said, we're just about home. I'm going to be leaving here soon. I'll take you guys along with me because I have a group reading tonight, which I think there's only 8 people. I think last time, like I said, I've seen this group a few times. They're lovely. They're wonderful. And I think last time there's about 12 or 13 people. So there's a little bit less. It's going to be about a 2-hour reading and in a group setting. So I actually usually just give readings like I'll kind of split up the time and kind of talk with everyone, even amount of time. But this is like an intuitive mediumship sessions. So loved ones will be coming through. I remember last time there was like multiple loved ones that came through per person. So, but it's different every time. So it could be more intuitive tonight. I could be working with cards. It could be mediumship. I really just trust. So I'll be heading into the city for that. So I'll take you guys along too. So I am in traffic heading into the city, and I have this group reading this evening, which I'm super excited about. I've mentioned it earlier in the video, and it's a great group of women, and I think the last time I saw them was like last January, maybe February. So it's a treat to go and see them. They're really, really lovely. But what's interesting is I've had like a full day with clients, and something we have coming up, like some group readings and certain ceremonies and things like that. So anytime that I have like work outside of like the typical like booking hours that I'm in, I have to make sure I'm like compensating elsewhere. So meaning I really made sure to eat a certain way today. A lot of like fresh foods, spinach, a lot of protein, things like that, because I really need that like life energy to perk me up a little bit and to keep my energy up. In addition to that, I do then like shift my schedule around. So like tomorrow I have a lighter day and I'm actually going to go get a little bit of healing done. And I think Monday, Tuesday, we're off. We're just going to be like working admin stuff. So I used to not do that before, and I would have like group readings of like 12, 15 people, and then I would be like booked the next day. And I can't do that. It's just a lot. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of channeling, honestly, and being up in the ethers. And I feel like you can get like really like woozy after a while, which is really interesting. But something that I feel like I wanted to mention with this is, you know, lately with clients, I don't know if it's the time of year and also just like what people are going through, it's just been really, really dense. And I would say the last few months, like people coming in for sessions and people are just really struggling and really walking around with like really big, challenging life experiences. And as a healer, and intuitive, like you're in that energy, you're reading that energy, you're kind of sifting through that energy to help support this person essentially. And you're just being a safe space to listen and to help them. And it can be taxing on you. It's not that that's good or bad. It's just like you have to really learn about your own energy and your threshold and your boundaries, because it can be overwhelming for the system. In particular, mediumship, for sure. Like if multiple loved ones are coming through, you have multiple clients per day, it can be just really taxing on our nervous system and just on our body, because it's a lot of emotion, it's a lot of energy that you're reading and that you're interpreting. So I made sure to have things like built into my schedule to compensate for that, especially because like group readings, they're at nighttime. I'm usually in bed pretty early with the baby, so for me to be out, it's almost 5 o'clock, but for me to be out past like 3 or 4 is very unheard of. So again, I make sure to just compensate and do what I need to do so that I feel supported and I'm not super depleted. And honestly, that comes from just overusing and over tuning in and just learning from past experiences. But today, I had a couple of really let's say some of the sessions today were a bit taxing. Totally normal. Again, it's not good or bad. It's just you're there to support people, and sometimes it can wear on you a little bit. And in particular, this is what's so important about healers and intuitives, is learning about your own energy and doing your own self-healing, because what can happen is when there's a resonance with someone, or when there's, you know, an understanding of maybe what they're going through because you have gone through something similar, their emotions or their energies, because you're in it, it can really activate your own pain points, let's say. And if you're not aware of it, when it sort of activates that, you can leave sessions like feeling, you know, depressed or sad or whatever it may be. And it's not that, you know, you're feeling that. It's just there's a resonance. So what you have felt inside is then activated and it's brought up. And that happened today. There was some stuff that came up and I started to notice it when I had come back from a meeting, just the past, like, you know, a few weeks with things that kind of built up, and I started to feel it, and I was like, you know what, I think some stuff is kind of lingering around, so I just needed to get a little cleanse. So I had Remy do a soap blow, and which is a pretty potent cleanse, but I really needed to kind of get some of that we call it emotional lint off of me, and I started to feel better within like maybe 10 or 15 minutes. So again, it's something that you kind of learn along the way. It's something that my father-in-law teaches us a lot, and Remy really helps me with. It's not something I was aware of, like super aware of before, you know, a couple of years ago. And I think I just took on a lot of people's energy because, well, there was a lot of things I was working through in my own journey. So big important lesson with healers is it can be taxing on our energy. Sometimes some people just take more energy. I think I've said that before, and that's okay. So it's just learning about your own thresholds and boundaries, and when you need to really nourish or when you really need something, it's like you have to make sure that you're giving that back to yourself, because if not, then you just feel hollow and you feel really, really depleted. So that happened earlier today, and honestly, it was probably because I was in a little bit of a weakened state earlier, because I wasn't feeling so hot. And something that continues to happen, like as you keep working with clients and honestly just learning about your own healing abilities and what that looks like, you get stronger. Honestly, you do. You get stronger, and you can really center yourself in quicker each and every time. And I had to kind of reflect on that today, just with certain things that came up that would have usually like taken me out for like a week or two, you know, that would have really affected me. I've moved through within minutes, which is honestly pretty miraculous. And I really had to take a minute and feel proud for myself, because it's a journey when you're learning about this stuff and when you're doing your own healing, and to just have that compassion for yourself. And I think it's a big part of our journey is to acknowledge when we are growing. So that happened today. So as I said, I'm in traffic. I'm heading into the city. Hopefully I'll get some shots of the little skyline. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be shooting up, I don't even know what it is, 90. I haven't been in the city in so long. I was saying, I used to live out there for like a decade, and so it's very nostalgic for me to be back out here, but I think I'm shooting up 90, so I'll try to get some nice shots of the city at sunset, so we'll see how it works out. But with the group reading, I'll check back in with you guys, because I always find I learn something new every time that I meet with people, and always have really, really incredible stories. So I will make sure to tune in and share that afterwards. The other thing I want to say, something that I have to do whenever I'm on my way to a group reading, I have to get a matcha latte and I have to sing. So I have on my cacao playlist, which has some of my favorite like medicine songs on it. It doesn't have to be medicine songs. I honestly might put on Led Zeppelin after this, but they're one of my all-time favorite bands. I grew up, that was like the only band I listened to growing up, them and Incubus, which is just duality. I think it's duality, old rock and new rock, I guess. So anyways, I have on some of my favorite like medicine songs or like spiritual songs, which is so silly to say. But like I said, I'll probably switch to some rock and roll here in a minute, but I love to sing and I love to roll the windows down. And because it's so warm out, I've had the windows down like halfway, and I've been getting fresh air and the wind in my hair, and I'm singing, and it just really helps to elevate my heart and my energy. And I just get really excited and just kind of in that little flow state before I head into group reading sessions. So I'll report back. So here is a little fun fact. My favorite place that I ever lived in the city is coming up here on the left. You'll see this tall building straight ahead with the like white, yeah, that one. So my apartment is on this side. It was on this side. It was on the 23rd floor, and I had this beautiful view of the sunrise. It faced the east, and it was beautiful. I actually lived in that apartment when I started the shamanic apprenticeship 4 years ago. I lived there. I think I was there before I started the apprenticeship. Actually maybe like a year before I started it, but I had no idea that by me moving to the city, that's actually how I found the apprenticeship program, was through someone I met actually on a dating app out here, which is so funny. And that's how I got into it. But that apartment building was like my total change in life, and I did not know that by me like randomly picking that apartment, I think I had to move within like 2 weeks, and I still had nowhere to live. And I don't even remember where I was living before then, but my lease was up there and I had to get out. I can't remember why. I think they were raising my rent. Anyways, I remember my friend Morgan was like, why don't you just come back to the city? She's like, you've been out in the suburbs, like we've been in the city together for so long, like it feels like it's you out there. And I was like, you know what? There's this one building I used to always want to live in. And I remember like actively for like a year trying to manifest moving into this building. I think one of my brides used to live in there. And long story short, I randomly checked, went in, got approved. And I'm not kidding, it was within 24 hours, quicker than that, maybe 12 hours from that conversation to me thinking about that apartment building, to me moving there, to like getting the lease and signing it and everything and then moving in. And just that time in my life was just such a pivotal moment. It was during COVID, and we had like a rooftop pool. It was like the total like typical city apartment. But what I loved the most was the ceiling to the ceiling to floor windows that face the east, so I always got the sunrise, and it was like my quiet space until, you know, living that high off the ground like started to really affect me. But it was a really, really beautiful moment in time, and that was kind of like the start of this journey that I'm on right now. Because like I said, me moving into that apartment and me essentially getting on a dating app and meeting someone like a block, you know, 2 blocks away is how I met my healing arts. So, fun stuff. Hey everyone, so I just finished up with that group reading a little bit ago. I'm about halfway home and I am feeling tired. I know I definitely need to rest tomorrow and probably the next day. And again, it's just, I talked about it in the earlier videos, it's like just really getting to know yourself and your threshold. And I'm definitely close to my threshold, and that's okay. That's all right. I planned it out, and I have that time off tomorrow and the next couple of days. But all in all, it was such a beautiful time. I honestly love doing group readings. I think they're just so much fun, and this is just such a really nice, kind group of women, and it was just a really nice time. So what I'm noticing is like when I am channeling for that long, I've noticed this a while, like if I channel for too long, like me staying up in the ethers that long, or like me tuning into the other side that long, I start to get a little disoriented, and I started to notice that like towards the end of the session, you know, at the end of the time. And even when I was leaving, I was like, I need to take some time off next week to make sure that I'm grounding and resettling, because I think today I probably spent more time up in that area than I probably did here, which makes a lot of sense if I'm feeling like a little disoriented. So I need to do human things the next couple of days. So I'm gonna eat some good foods, spend time with my family, and just kind of slow things down, like I was saying at the beginning of this video. And I know that that will kind of help support things, because sometimes I think with the mediumship aspect, it can take a toll, especially when you're kind of tuning into so many different energies and people and loved ones. And I felt a couple of, let's say, energies that I don't think belonged to the group. We were in like an old building, and obviously that happens. It doesn't freak me out at all. I just have to make sure that I'm like monitoring and not allowing messages to come through. So that happened a little bit, and it was an old building, like I said. So anyways, it was really nice. I had a really good time. I'm definitely feeling pooped and exhausted, and Remy had called me when I was on my way back. I just talked to him, and he said that him and his dad, my father-in-law Rodrigo, had made some homemade French fries, and I'm starving, because that's the other thing about energy work in any capacity. It's, again, energy that it consumes. Always have to eat like little meals all throughout the day, snacking and things like that, because it's just needed. So I'm excited to eat before I go to bed, and then I'm going to sleep in a little extra tomorrow. So that's going to be nice. So I will catch up with you guys then.
It's Sunday, and we just got done doing groceries. The baby decided that she didn't. Whoa, is that a falcon?
I think that's a hawk.
That's a hog.
That's a hawk. Yep.
Hey, we got animal medicine everywhere all the time. So the baby didn't take a nap this morning, so things have been kind of chaotic. We were supposed to record in the morning also to kind of wrap it up. Or kind of introduce what we were doing. We decided we had the Sunday off, so we decided to take care of ourselves. Angelica signed up for Reiki, and I signed up for, oh, it's green, a massage. And holding this camera is panning every which way, so I'm gonna hand this off to Angelica.
Yeah, hold it.
It's just like wobbling around.
Yeah, so we were kind of trying to take today off, and because the baby didn't sleep, it's been a little chaotic. And am tired, and I know Remy is too, so we've been kind of like rushing, and it just kind of, it's not that it ruins the day or anything, but really we really wanted to take it easy today, and we haven't actually been able to yet, so we had to go get groceries because we were out of, you know, the simple things, eggs, milk, stuff like that. So,
oh my God, we didn't get milk.
We are heading home. Well, we have the whole Overweiss milk.
That's a little bit, but yeah, we're going back out.
We're planning on like going actually out to Costco tomorrow. We just didn't want to do big things because, like I said, we want to take it easy today, and we haven't been able to yet. So the baby took about a half an hour nap today in the middle of the day, and usually she'll take like an hour to hour and a half nap in the morning and in the afternoon. So if you can imagine how much less time we've had, and she's just like on the move, and she's fussy, and it's just one of those days. So we are about to head home and put the groceries away and just kind of like hopefully relax a little bit. So we'll see if that's actually possible today.
And we still have a garage full of shit we gotta go through.
Oh yeah.
Hooray.
And we still have to clean our cars out because there's still things that I packed up that I haven't unpacked in my car yet. It's just where we're at right now. It's the beauty of moving and working full time and having a toddler and trying to balance everything.